Hey, welcome to the GNAPcast. My name is David.
And my name is Seth, and today we have a guest with us again.
Hey.
So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jesse, and I'm Seth's roommate, and I don't know.
You remembered.
Yes, I do remember. It's only 3 years. 3 years, and then he graduated and left me alone, so that's...
All right, so as a guest on our podcast, first we're going to go ahead and we'll ask you a random question, then you'll get a chance to respond. So, Seth, what is our random question for Jesse?
Oh, you're putting this on me. I wasn't prepared for that. Oh, I've already asked the peanut butter question twice, so I can't use that
Gotta use a
anymore.
different one.
If you had to choose, who would be your favorite video game character?
Ooh, a tricky question.
You knew I was going to have trouble answering this. I don't know. I've recently played a game I like called Hat in Time, and I love the main character for that. Her name is Hat Kid. It's incredibly original. Hat Kid. That is the name of the character,
What
and
a
I think it's
name.
great.
That's a pretty fantastic name, to be fair.
And it's very descriptive, actually.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then now you get a chance to ask either one of us, or both, any question you'd like.
Well, because I already know everything about Seth, I'm going to ask you.
All right. I have to remember you
Fair
guys
enough.
were roommates for like 3 years or something.
Yes. I'll ask you this, then. What is your favorite movie?
What is
or
my
movie
oh,
series,
boy.
perhaps?
What is my favorite movie? Well, I would go with the very obvious answer of The Dark Knight because I really like that movie, but I honestly don't know if that's my absolute favorite because I have like 100 favorite movies.
It's such a hard decision.
Right. So in the interest of time, one of my favorite movies is Interstellar. One of.
Oh, really?
Because the music is really good. The plot is actually, if you think really hard about it, it makes more sense than people give it credit for.
I've never seen Interstellar.
That's okay. It's a very nerdy
I haven't
movie.
either.
It deals with, there's black holes, and it's not time travel, sadly, but there are black holes, and there's a whole bunch of like
Just
interstellar
as long as it
travel.
stays away from time travel, we're fine. Because anytime you throw time travel into anything, it makes it messy.
With the exception of Steins Gate. I will throw that out there.
Fair.
But that might be
I'll
a,
give you
a
that
separate
one.
episode. But all right, so we're going to play a game called Would You Rather, which we have played many episodes before. So we're going to go around in a triangle. The arbiter will ask the other two the question, and we'll find out after a bit of discussion how we feel and then how the rest of the world feels.
Who's
So-
mainstream and who's a hipster?
Yeah,
All
pretty
right.
much. And you're going to be hipster for every single one of them.
I'll go ahead and start us off, and then we'll have Seth go next, and we'll just go around in the triangle. So, would you guys rather live in a world of unintelligent people as a genius, or live in a world of geniuses as an unintelligent person?
Those both sound terrible.
I'm trying to decide which one is more applicable as of right now.
No, but it's which would you rather?
I know.
It's a
I'm trying to think,
hypothetical.
like, do I like my current state versus would I rather be in the other one?
Fair.
So I'm not entirely sure. Of course, I'm going to sound arrogant if I say I'm a genius too. So
Well, naturally, since I'm already a genius.
since I'm already a genius,
I'm
I
already
really would rather be
Indubitably.
unintelligent.
yes. So, Seth, are you going to stay a genius in a world of unintelligent?
Stay a genius? What is that implying?
Well, would you rather stay a... now I can't even ask it normally. Would you rather be a genius in a world of unintelligent people or be unintelligent in a world of geniuses?
I value intelligence and knowledge a lot, so I think
Do you value it more in everybody else or just in you?
I don't know, because that's a really interesting way to think about it, actually, now that you phrased it like that, because it's
Because that changes things
if
completely.
I am the only smart person in the world, what's the state of the world going to be like? Versus if everyone is smarter than me, it's probably going to make for a better world.
Yeah, but then everybody's like, "Oh, you're such a bother. I can't believe we always have to take care of this one person who's really dumb." Which, I mean, I don't know, like,
Or
if
like
you like
normal,
if
but
you-
to them is super
yeah,
dumb.
Yeah, relatively dumb.
On the other hand, though, you get the whole mentality of, like, I forget, it's like the sheep mentality where anybody that is above and beyond, they try to discredit them or, like, take them out of the equation.
That's true. You'd be
You know?
incredibly outnumbered if you
Incredibly
were a genius.
outnumbered.
Well, that's just when you wait till you're dead, because everyone's more famous when they're dead.
Yeah, well, with a couple exceptions.
With a
but
couple of
anyways.
exceptions,
I'm
for sure.
getting the impression that we all kind of would rather be the stupid person in the genius world, just for sake of the fact that it would.
It'd be a
We
better
don't want to
world.
be singled out. If anything, like, it'd be worse being singled out as the only genius than it would be as the only idiot.
That's valid. Seth, do you agree?
I think I would actually rather be the only genius.
Though I agree
Okay.
with Seth's first comment, those are both awful.
They are. All right. Well, it looks like 79% of people would rather be the genius than be the
Oh,
dumb one.
wow.
Huh.
And only 21% would rather be unintelligent.
So we're already
Seth,
starting off with me
Seth
in the
is going mainstream.
I'm
Well,
so mainstream.
After such an interesting question, what in the world could the follow-up
I
be?
have a very, very bizarre question for you guys.
All right.
Would you rather eat only chewed up food from out of a toothless elderly person's mouth?
That's already a great starting
Oh,
point.
yeah, that's a fantastic place to start. Or would you rather only eat chewed up food from out of a chain smoker's mouth?
Elderly person, by far. I'm just going to say that right now.
Elderly person sounds a lot safer.
They
for
sound
sure.
like they're at least a little bit more sanitary.
I would hope so.
Fair
Although,
enough.
to be fair, a lot of elderly people have false teeth, so them chewing it up is more difficult, possibly, if they don't have the
Possibly.
teeth. Or if they have the false teeth, it's a different type of chewed up.
I mean,
possibly.
again, these are both kind of terrible.
I think
Kinda
one is
ridiculous.
definitely worse than the other, though.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
All
I'm gonna
right.
go with the elderly
I
person.
definitely think that the chain smoker one sounds disgusting because, like, we all know how bad cigarettes are.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Well, to be
like,
fair,
they
do you
just-
get to hang out with the elderly person? Because some elderly little old ladies are the best people
It doesn't
ever.
say. I
Okay,
mean, maybe you could.
I
If you hang
also-
out with them instead of a chain smoker.
Oh, is it the same elderly person or is it like a bunch of different elderly people?
Is this elderly person also a chain smoker?
Why? That'd be terrible. I mean, at that point, you might not have much left to lose, but still.
Yeah.
Are you also an elderly person? I
Back
don't
in
know
my
I don't know
day-
all the qualifications of this question.
What
But
do
I'm
you
still-
mean old? I'm not old.
I'm gonna go with the elderly person.
I
on this
agree
one.
with the elderly
All right.
person.
Let's find
So
out.
this is actually a little bit more even than I thought.
Oh, wow.
Only 55% of players would rather eat food out of an elderly person's mouth.
Oh dear, we are going
Wow,
mainstream.
that is straight. I will say, by the way, that when you started reading that first part, I was like, that reminds me of like the mama wolf or whatever. What animal is it that
It's
like
a
chews
bird.
Is it bird? I thought wolves
Yeah.
did it too.
They might. I know for sure birds do that.
Yeah, I
Birds
thought
usually do.
birds and wolves and whatever, like they do that actually in nature. So it's basically, do you want to be a bird or? Yeah, never
weird
mind. I won't
bird.
go any farther with that comment.
See,
All
the
right.
first thing I thought of was Alicia Silverstone. Which shows you how old I am.
That is a long time ago.
That was.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a pop culture reference. We'll explain later.
Okay.
All right. So my would you rather is, would you rather have to sleep 3 hours every day or have to sleep 15 hours every day? Which, by the way, that is the best question of the three we've gotten so far.
Agreed.
I want to say that right away.
All right.
This
okay.
one's really easy for me.
Oh
to be
yeah,
honest.
it's really easy for me too.
Okay, so my thought process on this one, going through it the way that I would work through things logically, which, as we've proven on episodes, is kind of a strange logic at times, but it has been proven that you can sleep on you can go through an entire day with only 2 hours of sleep. If you sleep, I think it's a half hour every 6 hours.
That sounds horrible.
No, it's an
Interesting.
actual sleep cycle. Now, it takes you about 10 days to get into it, so those 10 days are absolutely awful. But once you've gotten into the sleep cycle, rather than sleeping for like 8 hours a night or 6 hours a night, if you sleep for a half hour every 6 hours, you get enough sleep. Now, you sleep really quickly. You go into REM sleep right away,
Interesting.
and if you miss one of those, you get really tired or something like
Well,
that.
yeah.
But you can survive, and you're far more productive because you're only sleeping for a total of 2 hours a day. Whereas there's other options like different sleep cycles where you can sleep like 4 hours, but then like in the afternoon you sleep for 2 hours. And then
Yeah.
in the evening you sleep for 4. So it's like only 6 hours instead of 8 or 9.
Interesting.
So you're more productive there. You just have to sleep at different times.
I
so
may
in that
actually need to
sense-
try that.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
really
not
hard
going
to
anywhere
do.
near that because, like, I've discovered in my college experience, I have to get like 8.5 hours of sleep pretty regularly per night. So, and like, I'm just horrible if I don't. And it's my mom does it too, but
Fair.
Yeah. So I'm with the thing like you only have to sleep 3 hours, and like, dude, whether or not you're actually productive with that time, it's more time to do stuff for fun. So I don't.
that's
don't
what I
like
was gonna go
I don't
with.
necessarily care for sleeping. Like I know there's some people that they love sleeping so much. I don't. Honestly, I
Yeah,
would love
me
to do
either.
something else other than sleeping.
More time to watch YouTube.
I would-
Yeah,
video
pretty much.
games.
Yeah,
would
that
absolutely-
exactly.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
I would absolutely rather only have to sleep for 3 hours.
No, that sounds
over
amazing.
15.
And this is a 51-49 with sleep.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and 51% of people would rather sleep 3 hours every day.
Wow.
I expected that to be horribly lopsided. Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
To be fair, some people really like their sleep.
Apparently
so.
they do.
I mean,
That's
if you could live in a world where if you had a stable job where you only had to work like 6 hours a day and you
In a
could
world.
sleep 15 hours and you were still like productive and a good member of society and everything,
only had
that
to
would be
sleep
okay.
for 6 hours a day.
So, with that question having wrapped up, I have an interesting question for you. This is quite the life dilemma, if I do
Oh,
say so
no.
myself. Would you rather give up buttons and zippers or give up Velcro and knots?
give up buttons and zippers?
That's a very strange question.
Or
Life
what was the other one?
altering.
Velcro and knots was the other one?
That is the other one. Buttons and zippers or Velcro and knots?
I feel like a lot of the applications that buttons, well, because see, like Velcro could kind of replace your buttons, and then zippers. I don't know. There's not really a good replacement for zippers, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like
that's
zippers are
true.
very useful, but Velcro is also very useful, and in fact, knots are incredibly
Knots
useful.
are incredibly useful.
You know,
Like I'm not
Actually-
sure how you'd function without knots, at least in a more of a sense. Now, is it you
that
personally
might
giving it up?
not be ideal. Is it me personally? I don't know.
Is it you personally, or is it like all of society has to give up knots? Because I do not want to work in any kind of
depends on
shipping
how you-
industry if there's no knots.
It depends on how
That's
how you
true.
spin the question. You can interpret it how you'd like. We've gone to some very goofy conclusions.
We
by
have
interpreting
interpreted
it,
some questions in very strange ways on this show before.
which usually leads to minority results because no one else is agreed.
Because we come at it from a weird angle, but I've completely forgotten what the question was at this
Would
point.
you rather give up buttons and zippers or Velcro and knots?
I would rather give up buttons and zippers. I can
Okay.
live without those.
You know what? I can agree with that because you keep Velcro. Velcro will serve a lot of the same purposes as far as. And
Maybe
I'm
not
only
as
thinking.
strong,
I'm thinking
but it'll
from,
do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking from clothing perspectives because that's really all the only use buttons and zippers.
But what if they're
for anymore.
referring to
Right.
buttons on like a console where you have to push a button and now that no longer exists? You
Give
can't
it-
push any
why
Why
buttons.
would there
No,
be
no, no,
a
no.
zipper on a PlayStation?
No, I'm.
But no, like just all buttons in general. are gone.
Oh,
Given the
gee.
context
did it
clues,
that
I
way?
don't think that's a logical conclusion
Yeah,
to make.
but what if you interpret it that way?
Well, I choose not to.
Okay,
Because this is a theoretical game we're playing on our iPhones.
fair enough.
Sponsor? I mean, not sponsor.
No,
at
not
all.
sponsored at all.
Product.
All right, so
placement.
Seth
Do you
is
even
going
have an
with-
iPhone?
No.
Oh yeah. See?
All right, so Seth goes with buttons and zippers. Do you agree?
I agree
Jesse?
with buttons and
All
zippers
right,
as
you
well.
guys are in the minority
Of course we are.
by a considerable
Okay.
amount. 28%
Really?
agree with you. 72% would rather give up Velcro and knots.
What do people have against knots?
It's probably Velcro, actually, because Velcro
They
is
really
easy to
want to
give
keep
up.
Velcro.
Velcro's super loud, but it's also extremely useful.
But people would rather give up Velcro, maybe not thinking about the knots as much.
Yeah, I don't know. Like in my everyday life, I know I don't use knots that often. But I
Maybe
mean,
to
like
tie your
still,
shoes,
tying
but-
your shoes.
But you can do that
Yeah.
with Velcro. Wait,
Yeah,
you
you can
have
do
to
you
give
can,
up Velcro.
you can quote tie your shoes with Velcro, but then you're also like a child or an
I
old
mean,
person.
most designer boots have zippers anyway. They don't
Well, that's
actually
true.
lace up.
I'm looking at what you're currently wearing right now.
I'm wearing slip-on boots, thank you very much.
But they look awesome.
They look so good.
You have
Don't
to take our word
judge.
for it. So.
All right.
And the next question.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather control the emotions of those around you
Oh dear me.
or control the weather?
So by proxy, control the emotions, quite possibly. If you control the weather, you quite possibly control the general mood of people.
True.
You're too happy for me, Zap.
Very possible.
Just strike them
No,
with
no, no, no,
lightning.
no, no. Let's go the other direction with that. It's like, oh, I'm feeling really sad. Bang! Now you're not.
Did you just zap them with lightning, or
No,
did you
you
hit
zap
with
them with
emotions?
happiness.
Oh, I was hitting someone with a lightning bolt. Like, I don't
Oh.
like how you're feeling right now. You're
Zap
too
them
happy
with-
for me.
I'm just gonna
I'm
fry
gonna
you.
electrocute you real
Well, how?
quick.
The other question is, what are the magnitudes of these powers? Like,
Are you
even
Storm
Does
from
not
X-Men?
say at all.
because like how it's like, oh, I can make it like 2 degrees colder. Oh, that's a great
Yay.
power.
Hey.
It's like, oh, I can suddenly control the minds of or the emotions of everybody on the planet for no reason.
Because it's kind of
Like,
close
that's
by.
yay. That's the best one. Like, how powerful can you make these? I
as
think
powerful as you want.
Okay,
Because
well-
the question is so open.
That's, at
They're,
the
they're so similar, though. Controlling, like as you said, controlling emotions and controlling the weather can really tie into each other. More so the weather into emotions rather than emotions into the weather.
oh, by the way, obligatory reference to Geostorm right here.
And also reference to Storm from
Topical.
X-Men.
Yes.
Also true.
One of the most powerful, useless X-Men. It's not one of those
Shots
two.
have been fired, ladies and gentlemen.
That's not the point of this discussion.
If I get
No, it
electrocuted.
is not. We'll come back to that in a later
All
episode.
right. Well, I need to come up with some logic to approach this because all my normal logic nothing is working for me.
I
I have
feel
no
like
argument here.
See, I'm trying to go the opposite direction and say, okay, what's the positive spin on this? And it's controlling emotions. I don't know how superficial it would be, but controlling the weather could actually make people feel legitimately better. And like you could
Controlling
prevent
emotions, you might be able to make them feel better. Although
Yeah.
it might be kind of false, though.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of
Okay.
false, but it like you can stop tsunamis or something. I don't know with the weather control.
Ooh,
I think
maybe.
there's
That's an
like there's a, if you
interesting
spin it
spin.
the other direction, the weather control is actually really the better option.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. I think that
So-
it makes more sense, and that
Now,
one ties
the majority of
into
people will probably
emotions.
not do that, but
That's okay.
Fair
We're not
enough.
known for our popular opinions. for the
No,
most
we are
part.
not. Although it is a lot more even than I was splitting or expecting.
wow.
You guys are in the minority, but by
Surprise,
4%.
surprise.
Oh, wow.
Only
Okay.
So that was
46%.
48% of players would
48.
rather control the weather.
Yeah, because the other 52.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is, again, like the most normal of all of them. Would you rather only listen to the Beatles or only listen to the Rolling Stones?
I'm going to go with Beatles because I've actually listened to them more than the Rolling Stones already.
I feel like the Beatles are actually a little bit better than the Rolling Stones from what little I know. I am incredibly music not savvy, which is why I'm not really sure why I'm on this show. But
It's because of the other parts.
it's because of the other part. It's the geek and nerd part.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Beatles because, frankly, the parts that I've listened to from the Beatles versus the Rolling Stones, I like the Beatles better.
You know, I
So-
think I'm going to agree with you on that.
Make-
That was
it-
the
makes it-
shortest question
We've
we've
had so much agreement on this episode.
Yeah, 61% to 39% say they would rather listen to the Beatles.
All right.
So I think that's about right.
That makes it easy. All right, I have another
no.
life-altering question for you. This one will really make you think. Would you rather constantly have a 40-pound weight on your shoulders or constantly have 10-pound weights on each of your feet?
Either way, that's going to be really bad for your joints. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but
think that
the
would
40
really
pound is
help.
bad for more of your joints.
True.
But it's also on your shoulders, which I feel would be easier to bear than having a 10-pound weight tied to each of your feet.
I
Well,
mean,
then, okay.
I think that might be easier to get used to walking with, though.
You have to shop. Well, if you're just wearing really heavy boots, or if you're just wearing like shoulder
Yeah, I mean,
pads.
it'd basically be like wearing really big boots all the time.
Is that better or worse than heavy shoulder pads?
I
Or
think
like a
it would be
backpack?
better.
Well, to be fair, I walk around campus with a backpack every day, and it's pretty close to 40 pounds.
Well,
Fair.
the thing I'm running into is like if you have back problems or something, that the 40-pound weight would be terrible for you. That and when you wear the 40-pound weight, you're also putting all that weight on your ankles.
Right.
So-
but you also have the rest of your legs to help support it. It's not like just on your ankles themselves, you know? It's like if you try to lift your legs, that doesn't do anything if the weight is on your back. But if you try to lift your legs and the weight is on your legs, though it is less weight.
It is
I'll
less
leave you
weight.
guys
It
to
is
decide.
less weight overall.
I'm still sticking with the 10-pound weights on your feet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jesse?
that was what I was kind of leaning towards. And like, the reason I brought up back issues is I don't actually have back issues, but I've got this backpack it's like a hiking backpack and it's got a belt strap, which is really nice because it takes the
makes it
weight
better
off.
for-
Oh,
it takes
yeah,
it
that's-
off your back
that's
and puts it on your
perfect.
hips.
I want one of those.
So if there was a hip option, I would go for the hip option in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
just
but-
carry like 20 pounds of equipment on your belt.
Yeah,
His hips are amazing. Wait, what?
That's awkward.
I've been told that they don't lie.
This is why we...
That's why I think I'm gonna go for the 20 pounds on your feet. Personally.
Okay. And Seth as well?
Yep.
All right. 73% of people agree with you.
There you go.
We're so mainstream this episode.
that-
Oh
These are
my
really-
gosh!
Maybe they're just very obvious questions. I don't know.
All right, this is going to have to be our last question of the episode.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
So sorry, guys.
is a-
Yeah,
Best-
we
best
end
way
on
to end
this.
it.
Way to go. I don't even know what it is.
Would you rather have every movie you watch replace the lead role with Nicolas Cage? Or,
That's a great premise already.
or have every song you hear be performed by Nickelback?
I feel like there are some decent movies that actually have Nicolas Cage. But
National Treasure.
National Treasure being
I
the
hate-
one.
I don't want to be rude, but I don't know of any good songs that I enjoy that are by Nickelback.
Can
that
you
might
sing?
just be me.
Can you sing in Nickelback's voice?
I can't do
Seth?
Nickelback. I
Aw.
can do Creed, but I can't do
Aw.
Nickelback.
Ah, rats.
I'm gonna have to go with the movie ones because, frankly, I like listening to music. I don't want that ruined for me. I think I'd be
Fair.
okay, even though I really enjoy movies. I'd be okay if all of those were slightly altered. But I think I'd rather listen to music and be okay there. So I'm gonna go with the Nicolas Cage option,
All right.
See, now we're gonna dissent. This is like the first
Okay.
time all.
Yes, we finally have a disagreement.
which is okay. We've had many of those before.
See, I listen to a lot of non-vocal music. I listen to just instrumentals most of the time.
Okay.
So replacing it with Nickelback doesn't really matter to me.
Well, it depends on the
enough.
song itself. Like it's a very, very complicated technical song. For example, like
I
listen
listen to
Dream
video
Theater.
game soundtracks.
Oh, okay.
Just to give you an idea.
All right.
Okay.
That's why I think I would rather go for Nickelback because, like, I don't want all of the Avengers to be Nicolas Cage.
Oh my gosh,
I
that
don't
would be
want
terrible.
like
all
Batman.
When
v-
you frame
okay,
it like
Batman v
that-
Superman would have been better if Nicolas Cage was
probably
both lead
would.
roles.
Ouch.
And that would have been hysterical.
That would have been great.
Ouch.
I only pick on
I kind of want to see that now.
I only pick on Batman v
Nicolas
Superman 'cause
Cage
it's popular.
versus Nicolas Cage.
I kind of
In a
liked it,
world
but
where everyone is Nicolas Cage.
One Nicolas Cage will rise above the rest to fight another.
So this is actually quite a bit more lopsided than I thought it would be.
Okay.
70% of players would rather watch every movie with Nicolas Cage as the
Oh
lead
wow,
role.
Really?
I'm in the majority.
Yeah,
People hate Nickelback that much.
apparently.
I guess so.
Nickelback is like the worst band ever. Second
Maybe.
only to Creed, apparently.
well,
Based on the little research that I've done.
go figure.
I don't have any supporting research for that, but
All
okay.
right.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode. So Jesse, what we usually do is we'll either pick a random note or we'll let our guest, in this case you, pick a random note
It's
for
gonna
us.
have to be me this time.
So you go ahead and you'll give us a random note, and then we will sing goodbye in that key or with that note in our chord, or we'll come up with something.
You can just name the note. You don't have to try to sing it.
No, I'm gonna sing a note, and we'll see if you guys can match it. Okay?
Ooh, interesting.
I don't know. I have no idea what note it's going to be, but I want to be able to actually do it, though. I really want to do it. So okay.
You can go for a lower note if you think that'll help.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.